Hello, everyone. This is Michael Getz, and I wanted to share some of my feelings and opinions as I've done here in the past. And this one pretty personal to me, and some of the things that I've been going through, and hopefully sharing it with other people so we can all kind of learn and maybe do better. As a lot of folks know, when I first came here to North Carolina from Texas, I ended up homeless for a while and struggling, to survive and be near my daughter and not go back to Texas. And so I used to walk around town a lot, just looking for work and trying to get in and out of the weather. And I would go to ECU, and they were so cool to me. Just open-minded people that didn't judge you. I go to the mall, I get run off. I go to ECU, I can hang in the student lounge, watch some TV, get some water, use the bathroom or something. And I never forgot how cool that was. And so years later, when I had a chance to go back to school, the computer business I do, my hands hurting all the time. And I thought, I'll go back to school. And um, unfortunately, it's been hell. I never would have thought it. But I'm a disabled vet with carpal tunnel syndrome. I loaded bombs in the Cold War, kind of messed up my hands. And I've dealt with that since, for 20 years. But once I got into school, this became a weapon that I was tortured by repeatedly through the years by ECU. Knowingly, when I plead to try to have some technology in the classroom where I don't have to sit there day after day writing hand notes from chalkboard lectures, it's torture for me. And I would ask to record, just do what I'm doing now, Facebook Live, and let me just record my class so I can sit and listen to them later and stuff, and get ready for my tests. Instead of, my teacher comes in often with a piece of paper, writes on the board or talks about it. I write it down on a piece of paper, then I go and read it, and then I take a test. And where if I could have just, set my phone there, and Facebook Live it, and then later, watched it, no writing required. And I've tried now for years, couple years at least, to say to ECU, man, look, man, I'm a disabled vet, and I got real issues with my hands, and I really need to be able to use more technology. And unfortunately, that just hasn't really happened in a real way. I mean, they made some attempts. All my professors are cool. The people there are cool, but as an institution, these outdated instructional design policies and a university that seems asleep at the wheel when trying to get anything done protecting the rights of their students, in my case at least, and a disabled vet, it just ain't right. And so this year, last summer, I got kicked out of grad school because my hands just stopped. I was just writing and typing all the time, and my hands just couldn't do it no more. So 2/3 of the way through the class, I was in trouble, and I tried to get help, and I just got kicked out of grad school. And so even though there were classes I could be teaching, basically, I'll get kicked out. And so I had some military benefits left, and I wanted to put to use and learn. I love school and love ECU. And so I went back as working on my teaching license. As most people know, I've been a substitute teacher about 15 years. I love it. I never could survive making enough living at it, but I love it. And I love my students, and I love all of it, man. I love being in school. But I decided to use my benefits to try to get my license and go back and finally learn how to be a teacher, man. I love being a teacher, but I never had a class on being a teacher. I didn't know nothing about it. And so I got back in school, and I've been having to go through a lot of therapy, from acupuncture to water therapy, physical therapy, all kinds of gels and things I got to put on and whatever, just to get back into school where I could sit in class and over again cripple myself more with a pen or pencil. The VA did some medical tests and found out, that my disability used to be, originally, I think, like mild when I was in the military and loading bombs all the time. My hands were hurting. And but since I went back to ECU and started going to school and spent all day writing, it's gone really bad. And so now it's like severe and very severe. And I'm just dealing with pain constantly. And so the VA's wondering whether they should even allow me to continue, whether I can keep getting my funding, for school as my benefits, because in a year and a half more, I could be completely crippled where my hands are just not able to be used. And right now I can lay off for a while and do my therapy and stuff and get back to kind of using them again and just keep avoiding stuff like that. But at some point, they're just not going to recover, and I'm just going to be crippled, man. Nobody's going to hire a crippled teacher that can't write, can't use their hands. And so I tried to, ask the VA, and they're pretty cool, and my rep here and stuff, give me a chance. I'm trying to work out a plan where I could stay in school, still learn, not disable myself in the process, so they were kind of letting me go at it here this semester. And I'm finding it's insane. It's insane. I'm a disabled vet being tortured by ECU, and when I try to ask for help, I get more problems than anything. And tomorrow I have a meeting, second level, I guess, complaint that I've made. I got threatened by one of my professors with a lawsuit if I use the disability support services plan that I've been given and agreed to, and we were going to try to use. And so that kind of stopped everything, I was like, oh man, what? I mean, it's mostly over the social media issue, nobody wants anything to be seen or heard. I have to guarantee if I record a class, nobody will be able to hear it, which makes it really hard to, share with friends, family, study, whatever, and things. And impossible for me to go a couple of years and record my classes in all my classes for a couple of years and store them and stuff, when I could just go, hey, Facebook Live, boom, live on the internet, store it on my webpage, share it with my daughter, my sons, whatever, and friends, get their opinions, and, just normal 21st century stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of my professors, not all, there are many great people at ECU, and overall pretty cool, but a lot of my professors are just very anti-technology. And I kind of like, the old school in a lot of ways, but often it's absolutely crippling. And that they kind of take it out on me when the school's trying to meet their requirements to do something to help a disabled student. And even though they haven't really helped me a lot, and the things they've tried to do just didn't really make a difference, and the things I've asked for, they've kind of avoided. But they've done something. And then when I try to do what DSS says, then my professors are wanting to sue me, and I'm in trouble, and all issues going on crazy. It's just not right. And ECU has never worked these issues out. I mean, they shouldn't be up to a student to try to figure out how to come to class and record and deal with making everybody mad and stuff. It should have been the university that provided an environment for success for their students, and certainly not an environment to get threats from your professors over a technology plan that they gave me, that I agreed to, but they gave me. It's just an impossible situation, and I don't want to be rude. I'm not trying to do anything wrong, and but it's come to the point where tomorrow after that meeting, if they just continue to say, hey, yeah, it's your problem, whatever, and I can't go on like this. I've got to make some changes. I mean, I got kids, I got a business to run, I got things to do. I need my hands, and I'm tired of being in pain. And the threats on top of it, it's just incredible. I've been teaching 15 years in public school. I've never witnessed a teacher threaten to sue a student. I was just stunned. I was just sitting in a class, in a meeting where I had this letter from DSS saying I could record the classes, use social media and stuff, and teacher not happy. Professor says, I'll sue you if you do this, if I see any of our class or materials online. And I'm like, but that's how I store them, and that's how I share and get comments and learn. I mean, I've done this before. It's never been a problem. What's going on? And so it's set up like an impossible environment for me to be able to succeed. And now the students are kind of rolled up in it because, I got professors mad at me and us trying to figure out what to do, and students kind of catching it in the middle too. And it's just not a good thing at all. And so I've talked it over with my family, and I'll probably move back to Texas and leave ECU and maybe go to Austin for University of Texas there. I'm looking into, their disability support services. And I'm just assuming that an environment of threats from professors is just not going to be happening there, like I've dealt with here at ECU. But either way, I'm hoping tomorrow to have this last chance, to say, please, y'all killing me, man. And I'm trying to get help, and everybody's going at me like this. Why? And but so far, all the events, all the things I've tried to do, all the people I've talked to, all the things, fairly quiet. I didn't say much about this too much on my show and stuff because I love my school, but it's just too much. It's gone too far. Being threatened by professors trying to use technology in the classroom as I was authorized to do by Disability Support Services, a school that stands by and is okay with that. They're outdated instructional design practices. They're hostile, some professors, towards technology and students that need it. The total disregard, in my case, about disabilities and being forced to do things that knowingly cause me harm, that I get told to basically then drop out or quit. That's my alternatives. This is all just unbelievably wrong. I love ECU. I'm an alumni of ECU. I finally graduated there, and that's why I'm working on my teaching license. But I cannot lie. And it doesn't do anyone any good. ECU is seriously outdated. ECU, in my case, is torturing me by forcing me to comply with outdated instructional design and outdated mass media law interpretation. It is causing me hell. And when I've tried to say, look, man, this ain't right, I get more hell. And so hopefully tomorrow, I'll be able to bring up these points that, professors shouldn't be threatening students for trying to follow a disability support services plan from ECU. And it shouldn't be done anyway, but certainly not in that case. If she had an issue with it, she wouldn't talk to them. I was just carrying the letter they gave me. And so that's outrageous, and she needs to be fired. I'm a teacher. If one of my other teachers were threatening students and going against the school's policies and stuff, she should be fired. And so, not to discredit the good people, which I think almost everybody, I love my school, I love the people, but these policies are outrageously wrong, painful, destructive. And as ECU goes forward and tries to talk about being a 21st century university, certainly social media is part of that. I mean, how do we exclude the communications revolution in our education program? What is that about? And so hopefully my issues and stuff, as I bring them forward tomorrow in the hearing where I talk about the threats from my professors and asking for the school to change policies, to update them and use more technology and to help more disabled students like this and not allow an environment to go on as it has. I see this as an across-the-board failure at my school with many good people, but from the top down, the policies are old school, big time, too much so. And so I'm preparing now for this hearing or whatever you call it tomorrow, and I wanted to record this, and I don't know what'll happen, but I appreciate all the people here in Eastern North Carolina, my customers from Mike's PC shop, and friends and family and stuff, all the great memories and the things that I've been able to do here, and being near my daughter was critical. And I've asked her if she wants, she's 18 now, and if she wants after she graduates to go back with me to Texas. And I think she says she's going to stay. But I'll probably go. And I want to let people know how much I love you guys, and the people that have watched and paid attention and helped me out when I was on the street. So no disrespect to anyone. However, I'm not going to lie. ECU's got some serious issues beyond the technology and the threats. They were torturing me, man. So I'm gonna try to get through this semester, and next semester I'm trying to figure out how it applies to Texas when it comes to teaching back there and get my license and make sure I take whatever classes and then finish up probably my last year next year there. And And then I'll be back in Texas where my daughter and I are from. And I'll go on and live my life and always remember the great people here in Eastern North Carolina, and the school that I love, East Carolina University. Stay tuned.